Shalom, Kahalal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well, who I learned the truth from, and salutations unto the brothers out there. Push the truth in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. This is just another GMS to your health. Gonna deal with a remedy or a formula for basically like abscess teeth and teething or plaque or inflammation of the gums, because a lot of times like you have gingivitis, which is whenever you hear the word itis at the end of the word, that's Greek for inflammation. All right, just like you have hepatitis. Hepa means liver, and itis, inflammation. So it's the inflammation of the liver, right? Or arthritis, or any other conditions. So, and it brings about a lot of problems because it can cause you infection down the line. All right. So this is a very good formula here. This is actually, you can actually use this not only as a paste and then wash out your mouth. You could use it as toothpaste. Okay, but if you really have gum pain, this will help as well. Tooth pain. I had receding gums. After 2 days, I noticed a difference already. The gums weren't bleeding. And that's another thing. If you have bleeding gums, which is just another symptom of gingivitis. So I'm gonna run through this information. So the first herb you need is kava. Okay. This works in a similarity like what the fuck is it? Advil? Either Advil or aspirin. I forget which one, because I don't use that shit. But whichever one they got from the willow bark. Okay, because I believe it's Advil, right, for the pain and shit. So if you had the pain, when you take Advil, they mainly extracted those pain-killing properties from a herb called the white willow bark. And they have, I believe the term is called analgesic properties, which is pain-relieving properties. Okay, and I'm going to read a little bit about kava. Okay, kava roots used as sedative to relax without disrupting mental abilities. Right, chewing fresh kava root has the strongest effect, may numb mouth much more than old dry powder, but freshly ground is great too. So that shows you it's very powerful. If it numbs your mouth right away, right, while you're chewing it. Okay, so as you see, this herb is in the formula for the reason being is obviously because of its pain-killing properties. Right, if a person has abscessed tooth or their gums are really receding and they're bleeding and they're hurting, that causes pain. Some people can't even eat. I had a situation like that where I couldn't eat. All right, I could drink fluids. And you gotta find ways, man. Listen, we're in the age of information, man. As it says in the book of Daniel, chapter 12, knowledge shall increase. We're in the age where you can't have an excuse, man. There's just too much information. There's a whole online library of information. All right, you gotta find the ways, man. And if you're lucky, you'll get this information brought to you, which is what the Spirit is doing with all the brothers when they put out information on health, man. All right, the brothers in Mississippi a while back, they did a documentary even on health, talking about different honeys and going into ailments and herbs, and this, of course, where did it start from? The apostles, man. None of you guys, unless you had a background in holistic medicine or herbology or anything like that, but for the majority of us, I got into this thing because of the apostles years ago, when they started going into the green smoothie and they started talking about different ailments. Slakia, about the wind. Yeah, all the different ailments and curing them, man. Healing them. Because that's a part of this ministry, healing. Right? Doesn't it say in the book of Matthew that you shall have power to heal? Roughly paraphrasing. And one of the gifts that Paul mentioned was the gift of healing. So healing is part of the ministry. This is part of the work, because you have brothers that come into truth. Brothers that are either sick coming into truth, or they develop ailments in the truth. And those things happen for the majesty and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, to show that this brother didn't go to the doctor, but look, he got healed of his diabetes or sickle cell or even HIV, because hey, you know what I mean? There's all kinds of plagues that the Lord will heal you from. Okay? It says, many people report increased mental clarity lasting for days, along with a sense of calmness and well-being. Roots also have been used for gonorrhea, cystitis, inflammation of the cysts, urinary tract infection, menstrual problems, and migraine, headaches, lower blood pressure, pain reliever. And then it says here, because obviously with herbs are very powerful, okay? And why do I say it like that is because, yes, we know they heal, but that's why this is knowledge. This is a school in itself, a system in itself that you have to learn. You can't just combine 5 different herbs randomly just because you like each property and drink, and not knowing how much you need, the dosage. Everything has to be balanced. Does not say in the book of Ecclesiasticus that the Lord hath created everything, left and right, hot and cold, some to that effect. But it basically says the Lord has made nothing imperfect. So perfection is balance, which means the herb can heal you and hurt you, just like water. If you drink too much water, you can die. That's actually a case. If you drink not enough, you can die, dehydrate, right? But a lot of people don't even know about that. If you drink too much water, you can die. There has to be balance, man. There has to be a balance. All right. So again, do not take long-term, possibly bad for liver, because there are side effects, side properties. Like there's certain herbs like golden seal. You can't just drink golden seal all day, man. All right, you can really fuck yourself up. There's some powerful herbs out there. And then again, there's herbs that are what do you call it? They there's a higher tolerance for them in the body, because all they do is nourish. They're known as tonic herbs, like burdock, nettle leaf. So burdock root, nettle leaf, dandelion root and leaf. Those are all really herbs that you can drink all day. Because they supply minerals, vitamins, enzymes, probiotics, etc., right? So, but again, there's herbs like poke root. I'm trying to think of other ones that are not a kava kava. Obviously, one of them, willow bark. There's a lot of herbs. There's certain herbs really that it's a low dosage. If you make a frankincense or myrrh tincture, you can't have too many because there's dosages. There's certain dosages. So there's herbs that can fuck you up, man. Fuck your day up, fuck your week up, fuck your month up. Okay, so brothers, be careful on that. All right. Again, this is not for obviously this is going out to the general public. So I'm not a doctor. I'm not licensed. I'm not giving you any advice. I'm giving you information. This is all for informational purposes. You got to do your own research. Okay, just because I say kava kava is great, that don't mean you fucking drink 4, 5, 6 cups of it a day. For a month. All right, you got to research yourself. But as you see here, do not take it pregnant, lactating, taking alcohol, medication, or suffering from depression. All right, because of course, if you're depressed, the sedative effects of kava kava will make you more depressed, because it's a sedative. It's a downer. Okay, that's why it's used as pain relief. It's a calmer. It calms you down, calms the body down, calms a nervous system, right? A numbing. Okay, so back here, next is myrrh. We got myrrh powder. Get the powder, not the actual rock, not the actual incense, solid incense, but Salakia. Get the powder because it's very hard to crush the incense. Alright, it's very hard to crush the incense, the actual solid. So there are herb stores or Amazon or any mediums you'll find it. You know, you can't find it at one place, keep looking, you know, but try to get the powdered already. All right, it's much easier, 100% easier. Okay. Myrrh, of course, we know from the scriptures. Myrrh, frankincense, right? Aloes. There's certain things that stand out because the Lord, even it tells you the Lord delights in smells, man. You know. But myrrh is a very special. It's a resin. It's not even a herb. It's a resin from a tree. It's like they call it tears, and it hardens. It's like the if you go to pine tree, right? You have a pine tree. It secretes resin. Right, so when the tree gets damaged, right, from an animal or from an external force or whatever, and you check it out. Whenever you see an exposed tree, like even a cedar or not cedar, but like a pine tree or fir tree, those kind of trees, and try to find a damaged one, and look at the bark. It's very oily and sticky, and if you touch it, it's of course sticky, but that's the resin, and that resin has is stronger than glue. So in emergency situations, if brothers find themselves in the wilderness and you got a bad cut or some infection, you take that and you can apply it, you know, because of it has antimicrobial, viral, bacterial properties, and it heals, and it really just sticks the wound. All right, it seals it up. That's what it does, and it stops oxygen from getting in. So of course, stopping any infection or bacteria, right? You can use it for your teeth if again, also the resin from the pine or fir tree, the pine resin, to put some in your teeth, and it's gonna like feel like glue. You can't even move your teeth, but the saliva will start breaking it down, and you'll start moving your teeth. It'll be really sticky, but that's good also for if your teeth are hurting, if you have a tooth infection or anything of that sort, you know, in emergency situations. So myrrh, let's get to the myrrh then. All right, so we'll go back. Alright, so we got myrrh, a strong immune boosting healer and infection fighter. Almost as good as echinacea, with strong cleansing and antiseptic properties, commonly used in mouthwashes and toothpaste. Also used for asthma, bronchitis, itis. Remember, brothers? These are easy things to remember, so whenever you see them, you understand what they mean. So bronchitis, your bronchial tubes, right, where your respiratory system is. That's why bronchitis, people cough, because it's inflammation of the bronchial tubes. All right, and you have to get all that shit out. You have to fix it, reduce inflammation. Okay, sinus, sore throat, herpes, ulcers. Myrrh is a resin made from dried tree sap, right, or sap. That's the word. That's a better word, like the maple syrup sap and or the maple sap and the pine sap. Very popular for its essential oil. A very spiny tree with big pointy thorns, grows to about 12 feet, 4 meters tall. All right, as you see here, I can zoom in. You see, that's the solid right there. All right, and they collect it like that. Okay, but try to get the powder, it's just easier. Next is we got white oak bark. All right, white oak bark. Let me see, oak. You can either get white or red, because when I went to the herb store, they didn't have the white oak. They had a red oak. It has the same similar properties. All right, oak. All right, I'll just go straight to the point. It says when used as a tea, it's used to get rid of parasites, helps them come out of the blood, cells, tissues, and body. The typical method is to collect acorns, sort out the good from the bad, dry them in the sun for a day or two, take the shells off, then grind them into powder and leach to get rid of the tannins. Soak, then change water and soak again. To use as a parasite expeller, grind up the entire acorn shell and everything with a mortar and pestle into a powder. Oak is an astringent, stops bleeding. So again, why is this important? Especially if you have bleeding gums. You need this right here. If you have gingivitis or on the verge of getting gingivitis, or you eat a banana and then you look and there's blood because your gums are bleeding, this is one of the things that will help out 100%, and it helped me. I had a severe case, like I told you. After 2 days, I can literally remember it stopped bleeding, and your gums become tighter because it tightens your gums. It has astringent effects. stops bleeding, but estrogen really means to tighten. All right, estrogen properties. Okay, it tightens it up. It stops it from receding down and drooping. It tightens, and you'll see your gums go up. You know, it says inner bark used for diarrhea, dysentery, hemorrhoids, poison ivy rash, cancer, tooth cavities, burns, skin diseases, inflammation. Use the tea as a skin wash to help clear up problems. So again, but this one, so look, you got your kava. Try to get the powder again, all right, because it's hard to crush up the actual herb because it's very coarse and dense, because you need it as a fine powder. You're making a paste. You got your kava powder, myrrh gum powder, white oak bark tincture. This is not the herb, okay? Just for brothers thinking it's a herb. This is not a herb. You are not putting any water in this. You're not putting any alcohol in this. The tincture is your liquid that will make the paste. So it's very important you get the white or just an oak tincture. You know, if you can't find the white, there's a red one. It has to be oak though, because of the properties. It's a tincture. What is a tincture? Tincture is a herb extract. Okay, it sits in alcohol, and then for a period of time, either a month, 2 months, 3 months, it depends. Generally a month, sometimes even 2 weeks. But it takes all the properties into the alcohol absorbs it, and after that you strain it and it's just liquid. You don't have the physical herb, but all the properties of the herb are in that alcohol. That's what a tincture is. So you get the tincture and you use that as a liquid, right? And then we have 5 drops of clove essential oil. Essential oils are aromatherapy. You can find them mainly any health food store or like Amazon, again online if whoever shops online. Let me just look it up, the clove, because again the clove, whenever you look up like toothache problems or toothache remedies, clove usually comes up as one of the first. Alright, so cloves, strongly flavored common spice that adds flavor to many dishes, is also a parasite killer and considered an aphrodisiac in many cultures. Clove oil is used to stop bleeding, reduce inflammation, relieve pain. So again, everything that people with receding gums, inflammation, cavities, abscessed teeth are suffering, right? Relieve pain. Cloves are actually the dried flower buds of a tree originating from Southern Asia. Clove is an ant repeller, helps build stomach acid, helps digestion, increases peristaltic action in intestine. That's that motion that your intestines make when they're ready for food. It's like a pump. It's like it's a squeeze. Let me see. Disinfectant, rub on tooth cavity to stop pain, stimulating and warming. Helps people with cold hands and feet, promotes sweating to relieve fever, safe for relieving vomiting by pregnant women. Okay, and those are all the things you need. And again, as you see here, mix the ingredients together in a small dish to form a paste. Use the paste to pack around the gums for relief. Use as needed. Note, the formula can also be used as a toothpaste. Okay, because I've used it as a toothpaste, but if you have right away gum or any kind of pain that you can't even brush your teeth with, just apply the paste to that area in your mouth and leave it, okay, until the pain is gone. Wash your mouth out and apply it a couple more times. All right, you know how much you need. And then when you don't have that pain anymore, when you stop, don't stop using it. Take care of your teeth. Okay, start doing oil pulling, start using proper mouthwash. Don't use fluoridated toothpaste, fluoridated fucking mouthwash and all that bullshit. All right, try to take care of your mouth. You know, oral hygiene is important, man. I learned that the hard way. So I can't stress that enough. Okay, so it's very easy. You know, you have your kava, your myrrh, your essential oil. Again, that's gonna add to the liquid, and you have your oak bark tincture, which is half a teaspoon, and you mix that. If you want to make a bigger portion, just take these little all the ingredients and all the ratio and just times it by 10. You know, you'll have a bigger portion. Okay, so yeah, so basically I hope that was edifying and informative for anyone suffering from this hell that we're in, you know, just to ease up pain, because this does work. So brothers, don't be shy, try it, don't be discouraged. It's not rocket science. Okay, this, you know, if it's your first time, just show the people the list. They'll get you what you need. and just make it, you know. So again, once they call halal, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, double honors unto the apostles, the great millstone, the great men on the earth, and salutations unto you brothers out there. Shalom.